Today's podcast is sponsored by Liberty Defense. If you're like me, you care about keeping your family safe, or maybe you like to go to the range now and then. That's why I love our friends at Liberty Defense. They're your local, family-friendly firearm and safety store, not some big box chain. They've got everything you'll need for hunting, protection, and recreational fun. Whether you're new to firearms or a seasoned shooter, Liberty Defense makes it fun, safe, and welcoming for everyone. Stop in today in Darlington, PA, or visit them online at libertydefensepa.com, where faith, family, and freedom come first. Today's podcast is sponsored by Key & Kin. Are you planning a visit for family or friends? Skip the hassle and book with Key & Kin, Beaver County's top short-term rental provider. Their hand-picked Airbnb properties offer modern finishes, warm personal touches, and exceptional service. From a single night to a few weeks, unlock a perfect stay in Beaver County and beyond with Key & Kin. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Enthralled. I'm excited to do another episode with my friend/neighbor, Shannon. I'm going to read our scripture. Let the king be enthralled by your beauty. Honor him, for he is your Lord. And that's Psalms 45:11. Exciting new news is we have a new shirt. I'm wearing it today. If anybody would like one, they just came out in sweatshirts for the fall. So exciting. And so I'm having Shannon here today. We're going to be starting a new series called in the self-care category. And when I was thinking about who to have on for these episodes, Shannon was like, just seemed great to fit in with our simplicity episode, I should say. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself, say who you are, family, awesome. Whatever you want, where you grew up, whatever you want to talk about yourself.
Great. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I love the color of those shirts, first of all. That is
cute,
really
right?
Great. Yes. Love that a lot. Well, yeah, thanks so much for having me on today. Really appreciate that. I was very humbled whenever you had asked me, because, I mean, this is very much a big responsibility. Anytime you're putting your words out there and, like, asking somebody to come on and speak, that's a huge responsibility. So I do really appreciate that. So thank you.
Yeah.
So we are neighbors, obviously.
I know. I was trying to think about how long we've known each other, but, I mean, Malaya was little. Well, maybe even before.
It was even 19 North, actually.
Before, yes. It's true.
Yes. So, yeah, it was like a young adult ministry.
That's true.
And then paths kept crossing, like, intermittently. Then Poe and I had moved up here. Mm-hmm. You guys.
And then we got jealous and we were like, we want to live in Aspen Fields. And then we saw you were here.
Yeah, and it's so cool.
That is so cool.
But yeah, it's super great having you as a neighbor.
Yes. Our kids.
The best baker.
Yeah. If you have to have extra stuff, I'll just pass. Or I'm always asking her for, like, salt or baking soda or like random things.
Like random of like, do you have a jalapeno? Can I
always like, I don't
send a kid over and get this figured out?
It is helpful to have a neighbor that
Well, so a little bit about me, I guess, since that was your first question. Is, born and raised in Beaver County my entire life. And when I'm like a third generation Ambridge grad.
We just played Ambridge in football last night.
Oh, was it last night? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, the little kids.
Okay.
Not like high school.
All right.
Yeah. I think well, we won one and lost one, but they were good. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was
I used to cheer for Little Bridger, so that's kind of fun. But anyway. So my grandma was the first class to graduate from the building that they tore down, and my brother was the last class.
Oh, that's fun.
So it's kind of like an end of an era.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so born and raised. My dad is a dentist, so I always feel like that was just always a thing that became part of my identity almost, because everyone's like, your dad's the dentist. I know your dad or your family.
Is he in Ambridge? Is that where he's at? Yeah, okay. So everybody probably wants him.
Everybody knows my dad. And
so
it was I was proud of that, growing up, because everybody always had great things to say. So I was like, okay, I'm proud of my dad and my mom, and they work really hard, so that was cool. I am the middle child. That's always kind of like a funny joke.
Yes.
Yep. And then, so I went to WVU after high school, and that's actually where I met Poe.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun. I didn't meet him till grad school. Kind of went about my life through undergrad, and all of a sudden he appeared, and that was kind of it. So that was fun. And he's kind of lived all over, so he saw the value that my family has in having always been in this area.
Yeah.
And we wanted to raise our family up here. So when we got married, we actually moved from Bridgeville back to Baden, where we rented for a while before building here in this neighborhood. But
and a tiny little place with all of your kids. Like, I remember seeing pictures, and I'm like, wow. When you talk about simple, like that it's probably one of
as
the...
stressful as it was to be stepping over top of each other, it was actually quite nice because there's less to clean.
Yeah.
It was just, we all were together all the time, which is both good and bad.
But you couldn't get away from anyone.
You couldn't. Yeah, and the kids were little, and you have all these contraptions everywhere, like the bassinet, the jumper, the walker. And everybody's in different stages of development. So and the gates, oh my gosh, the baby gates. I remember like having to like hurdle. Like got really good at hurdling because you just like hurdle from one room into the next room. And it was just wild. But the house was great. It was my grandma's house. It served us very well. And we were able to move up here.
Now, I guess how many kids do you have? You could talk about that.
Yeah,
and then because I was thinking they were all really small when you were in this house.
Yeah, they were very small when we were in the house. Yeah. So we have 4 kids.
4 kids,
Malaya's the oldest. So she is 16 and a junior.
And about to driving soon,
yeah,
right?
She'll probably get her license here in December. We have a test
crazy.
schedule. And she actually drove us most of the way to Hershey yesterday.
Wow.
I was super proud of her.
That's impressive.
Yes. I want to make sure that she could get good highway time and not be scared to drive anywhere. Yeah. So go girl. She did a good job.
That's great. Go mom, because I feel like I'd be stressed.
It is at first.
In the beginning. Yeah. Then you get more confident.
Yes. Then Mannix. So he is in 8th grade and he just turned 14. Hamilton, he's going to be 12 actually on Tuesday.
Aww,
he's having a birthday. And then Danilo just turned 10. So everybody's now double digits.
Wow. Yeah. That's wild. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Yes. And how long have you been married?
So it's 18 years now. It'll be 19 years in July, which is crazy.
19. Wow.
Yeah. That's a long time. And then I've pretty much always worked in sales or public relations.
Okay.
So I'm a sales manager. My territory is Miami, and then basically I sell garbage, that sounds hilarious, but I do. And there's a lot of money in garbage.
Yeah,
so
who would think?
Everybody has it.
It's interesting because you always say when the kids talk about what they want to do, I'm like, you just don't want to be a garbage man.
Yeah.
But I didn't think there was another part of it.
No, that's a funny, obviously, like a funny statement to make, but I totally understand where you're going with it.
Like, you just don't want to carry garbage around. That sounds like that would be...
Yeah. It's like one of those jobs you hope you get paid well.
Yeah.
Because it's a dirty job.
Yes.
But somebody has to do it.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, we're going to just talk a little bit, like I said, about living maybe a simple life, as we started to with your, and you can take this wherever you want, and I think we'll kind of go in and out of seasons of your life probably, but maybe we'll start with, how do you personally define simplicity in your life, or in life in general? You can take it personally or just...
Sure. So I feel like simplicity can be a sliding scale because it very much depends on where you are in life.
That's true. Yeah.
What your kids are up to and how much, I don't want to say help, but like how much work both you and your spouse can do to like pitch in together. Because sometimes it might be more of a heavy load on one versus the other.
That's true, yeah. Just
naturally with course of work and maybe schooling or something like that. But yeah, it's definitely very much a sliding scale. So you kind of just try to get rid of the things that are causing your mind to become cluttered. Sometimes it is actual clutter, can make your mind cluttered.
Yes.
Which very much is my case. So I always try to keep things decluttered to a minimum.
Yeah.
But also just focusing on what needs to be done versus what I would like to do.
Yeah, with your needs and your wants.
Yes, which are quite different.
Sometimes I feel like they might even be a little bit hard to define. Because you think, when you really think, do I need this or do I want this? Whether it's like buying something or just saying yes or no to something. I'm like,
very true. Yes. So I'm like, well, this is food I need to eat. But maybe you don't need to eat at Napa Prime.
Yeah. I have never been there. That's on our list. We want to go. We haven't been there yet.
But yeah, needs and wants are sometimes hard to define for sure. But yeah, just always trying to figure out, what do I need to do today?
Yeah.
And I'm not really much of a hourly schedule kind of person. What I do with every day is I write down what needs to be done.
Okay.
I'm old school. Everything has to be written.
I love that. When I see you post that, it makes me laugh every time.
I feel like such an ancient dinosaur, but there's something for me about just writing something down.
Do you like crossing things off too?
Crossing it off.
Okay. A lot of people are like that, yeah.
And based on that, I have to have a purse. Well, I use a book bag that can carry a planner because otherwise, when I'm out and I can't write something down, my purse is not useful because I can't carry my planner. which is how I can help myself keep my life simple by keeping organized and writing things down that I need to do.
Yeah, and you would have a lot to write down for the day. Like, I don't know how you would fit it on that little box.
Oh, and my writing is also terrible, but I can read it.
Yeah,
so
no one else can read it.
I'm glad nobody can read it, because there's some crazy stuff I have to write in there. And people who have no idea what it is, they wouldn't even be able to decipher what it was. But it's very helpful to me. Okay. But that's definitely a big thing, is carrying my planner, figuring out what needs to be done versus what I would like to do.
Yeah. Do you just put in there the actual things you need done every day? And then, the other things?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe we'll go to, was there a time or a season you began to realize your life felt busy or overwhelming? How did you handle that? So I'm sure as a mom of 4, there's been seasons or times that you have, but is there one or two, I don't know, you could pick specific that really stands out to you?
So it's funny, sometimes like you can be overwhelmed and not even know it, and then whenever something gets to be in a nice spot, you're like, wow, that was crazy.
And you almost like realize it after.
You're like, wow, how did I even live through that? Yes. You know, but you just do it.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing is just tell yourself you just do the best you can. And also that's another sliding scale. Like sometimes for the day you can be like, oh man, I'm feeling great. I could do all this stuff. And like, you know, might be filled for the day. And then other days you're like, I'm not feeling so hot, so I'm just going to focus on these 2 things because there's so much going on. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
So I would say the first time I felt super overwhelmed was when the kids were little and Danilo was going through all his heart stuff because I couldn't take him anywhere. I couldn't even pick him up normally. The kids wanted to have like a normal life. We're in that small little house, which was a great house. Love that house, but it was tiny.
Do you want to talk about real quick what happened in Danilo?
Oh, sure.
Like just so I know. I mean, I kind of know, but not really either. So you could just quick.
So he's our 4th child, and you know, when you expect to go to the hospital, it's kind of like you already been.
I've done this before. This is easy.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, this is gonna be great. I can have the nurses like take care of him. I can sleep and eat good food that I don't have to make.
Yeah,
this is gonna be amazing. My mom's gonna watch the other kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's what my cousin Chelsea. She's like, I always thought it was like a little vacation. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if I'd say that, but
right. Yeah. But I see where she's going with it because I was very much in line with with that idea. So it abruptly turned to not that.
Yeah.
And so he basically ended up having a heart condition, which is called tetralogy of Fallot. Okay. And I am not at all a medical person. Everything I've learned from medicine has been through hard knocks, either in my life or something my kids have gone through. And you just do it, but, so it was pretty tough, and he did have heart surgeries, like, flown from Children's to the medical, reverse that.
Yeah.
From the medical center to Children's.
Yeah.
And by the time we got there, they already had him diagnosed, but he had to get a little bit bigger, so by 8 days, he had open heart surgery.
Okay.
And
during your pregnancy, nothing that
you
know.
Nothing. It was a huge, not fun surprise.
Interesting, because, you know, nowadays they can catch things, usually, but maybe some things they can't, right?
Yeah. Well, one thing they did change is after 3 births of our other kiddos who were all healthy, they didn't do this pulse ox test, which is very simple. It just takes your blood oxygen levels. Yeah. They did do that for Danilo. It was like a new thing. Okay. They started doing, and his started kind of going down.
Okay.
And he started turning blue and, like, not fun colors.
Yeah.
So they're like, we know something is wrong. We just don't know what.
Okay.
So by the time we got there, like, I discharged myself early.
Yeah.
Poe and I drove to Children's in the middle of the night.
The day you had the baby.
It was like 24 hours later.
Wow.
Yeah. So my little vacation like got cut short.
Yeah.
But it was
really rough way.
It turned into a nightmare.
Yeah.
But the whole time though, like even though it was very overwhelming, we were very calm because we had so many people that were praying for us.
I remember that.
Visiting and just telling us like, hey, we're thinking of you.
Yeah.
And we're like, good. Because usually I do notice too when you have a child that's like sick or something, people don't congratulate you.
Yes.
Sometimes they don't even talk to you.
Yes, they don't know what to say.
Yeah, because they don't, and it's not that they're bad people. They just don't know what to do.
Yes.
So, but anyway.
Yeah.
So that I was just really grateful. Like most people were very much there and just really helpful. So that was very overwhelming. And then trying to get him healthy, and then his development was a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Because you can't put them on their tummies, can't do tummy time. Then he got a flat head, so he had to wear a helmet. From not being able to do tummy time because of the incision.
Because he always had to, lay on it, yeah.
So, and then he would do physical therapy, development classes, all kinds of stuff. But I guess the hard part, though, is obviously you want him healthy, and I knew he was going to get there. It was just one of those things you had to work through.
Yeah.
Was trying to keep everybody else going.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
because they're all, like, not slowing down.
Yeah.
They're probably getting more busy at this time, I'm sure, because they were growing. And
right.
Yeah.
Malay was in soccer. He was just a little toddler, so he was just kind of like, whatever, but he was very active, so I had to watch him. And then Mannix was all over the place, because he was 4.
Yeah.
So it was just trying to keep them going to preschool and keep her going to soccer, but I almost feel like it was me doing COVID before COVID happened because I would have to get them out, but then I couldn't stay. I had to go back. And at the time I lived in Baden, and I felt like everything we did was in New Brighton. There was construction on 65, which took forever. So I was like, I just want to stay here, but I can't. But I have to drive back. And then I feel like I was always in the car.
Yes.
But so that was definitely a very overwhelming time.
Yeah.
And then the next one that kind of pops into my head is whenever Poe, he got his executive MBA several years back now.
Yeah.
But he was gone so much because he was working full time.
Yeah.
This COVID was still in effect, and he was taking these classes at Pitt. So
he went there to Pitt for the classes.
They would go for an entire weekend for a month, but every evening there would be like classes.
Okay.
So he like worked full time, did school full time, and then the kids are now full force into sports.
Yes, because
you have a lot to say today, huh, Stella?
There we go.
I know. But anyway.
All right, keep going. Stella's going to get picked out soon.
It was just a lot. I mean, it was a lot for him, too, because, Poe wants to be able to help and do stuff, but he can't. And he very much was just stressed out. I was stressed out. And then you try to figure out, how are we eating? When are you going to clean?
Yeah.
Doing all that stuff, then you're like, well, I didn't give anybody any actual quality time for me.
Yeah. Because at this season, like you said, it was a few years ago, so your kids are all, like, kind of getting teenage-ish years, and those are all difficult years. I mean, all the seasons, I think, are hard. But, like, you want to be able to have that one-on-one time and be able to talk with them.
Right. But
when you're so busy.
Time.
Yeah. Because as you get older.
With someone, but not actually even be with them, really.
Yeah.
They're just kind of there in tandem.
Mm-hmm.
But, all these things were happening, and that was a very stressful time, too.
Yeah.
I was very overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
But I think just kind of keeping to the forefront of your mind, yes, this is overwhelming right now, but things will change soon. Not everything's going to be like this.
Yeah.
And then you try to remind
yourself. It was for a specific season. He was going to be out of his schooling.
Yeah.
There was an end goal. That always helps me, too. Like, if I know it's going to be in 2 years, or whatever the thing is, I just got to get through it till then.
Yeah. You're like, okay, and I've done this before, and then it got better.
Yeah.
With whatever it was before that you overcame.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I'm always like, that's it. I think those were both very big things that you had to go through. So maybe we're going to talk a little bit more now about maybe daily life habits, which I think you do this a lot. And what are some small habits or routines that you have that has helped you simplify your daily life with all your 4 kids? So you can talk about when they were little or even things you do now.
Yeah, so things actually kind of morphed a good bit. So like self-care, obviously like fitness, eating right, drinking water, just simple stuff, sleeping well.
Yeah.
Those all are great things. And when one or more gets out of whack,
then they all get out of whack.
Yeah.
I always feel like, when you don't exercise and you're like, I don't need to eat healthy. They do kind of all go together a little bit.
Yes.
At least for me, they do.
Yeah. So you kind of have to keep a pulse on it. But it's funny because I don't use apps or track or do macros or any of that because I feel that stresses me out personally because I'm not a numbers person.
Your husband's a numbers person.
Yeah. Poe's very numbers.
We joke about this because both of our husbands are engineers. And I feel like we're both more like, we're relaxed, go with the flow. So anyways, I just had
to... And it both works,
Yeah. You need both, for sure.
And I think we both, obviously, we need our husbands to keep us in that, but then we need to kind of offset that a little bit, too.
Tell them to chill out a little bit. Enjoy life. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, so things kind of changed for me a good bit, actually. So whenever the kids were little, I could not get up early to go to the gym.
Yeah.
To go to the gym because Poe's already gone.
Yeah.
And I can't leave my kids at the house.
When they're
Yeah. So at that time, I would do at-home workouts whenever. Because at the time, I just either worked part-time or was at home.
Yeah.
I always did variations of things, either working or not. Or
actually,
full-time.
one time we almost kind of worked together in the eye industry.
Oh,
do you remember? I worked at the eye doctor, but you were a salesperson for them, and you used to come in.
That was
so funny. I remember when you showed up the one day, I was like, What are you
That
doing?
was my very first stop, too, with that job. And I was like,
Really?
that made me feel so good. Because I was like, oh, okay, I know someone. It's Mary Beth. This is great.
Yeah,
that's funny. I forgot about that.
I just thought of it, too.
Well, so I was doing, at-home workouts
Yeah.
whenever, and mostly trying to cook well and eat good and that sort of thing. And then, probably like, it was close to 8 years ago, I started doing CrossFit at Aurelius. And that worked out really, really great for me to go to the 6 a.m. class. And that just worked because now my kids were a little bit older where I could leave in the mornings.
Yeah.
And it was like maybe 10 minutes they'd be by themselves until
Okay.
they got a little bit older.
Yeah.
To where that didn't even matter anymore in the mornings. But they're really good about getting themselves up and ready and out the door, which is really great.
It's very impressive what your kids can do. Sometimes I'm always like, the Oster boys can do this. You can do.
Oh,
I think of that often.
That was hard getting them there, but they did it. And yes, thank you.
They do a really great job.
Thank you.
Very organized.
So that was working for the longest time until maybe about like a year ago. Now I'm always like, her peak hours are evening, like 10 to midnight.
Oh, so
they wake up. They want to talk to you at that time.
Yeah. I was just talking to somebody about that. I was just talking, I can't remember who it was, and I was just saying, as your kids get older and you want to have that time with them, and actually when Kevin and I were doing a podcast about praying over our kids, and I said one thing we always we've done since they were little is we put them to bed. Just like, tell them good night, but we still like go in there and talk with them and pray with them. And that's when they'll tell you so much about their day.
Right.
And you don't want to miss those. And as they're getting older, you're like, oh, they can stay up a little bit later. And I'm like, if you're getting up early for the gym, you need to go to bed. So that's probably what you're.
Because the thing is that messes up the sleep thing that we just talked about. And for the longest time, I felt like a zombie, and it's like, I can't. And then I just felt crabby all the time. So I was like, I need to figure out something. So I figured out do the best you can. It's not perfect, but so now I try going at lunchtime, or if there's a rare evening that we don't have anything, I can try to sneak something in, but that kind of went away again. So lunchtime is pretty much like
so you don't go in the mornings?
No, because it was messing my whole day up. And I was like, well, it's good to exercise, but if it's messing my whole day up and I'm not able to talk to my kids at night, then what's the point of exercising just to like check it off the box?
But I think that's really important because you were like taking what was the priorities. Fitness is priority, but also like we know our spouses or God, our spouses and our kids, like those all have to be in order.
Very
and the
true.
fitness has to fit in there. Or, I mean, it doesn't have to. We want it to. And really it kind of does. I mean, I think fitness but also you weren't willing to sacrifice the time with your family just so you could go, but a lot of people, they get that.
It's hard.
And it's hard to accept too, especially if it's something you've been doing and you enjoy doing, right?
And you obviously miss seeing the people
for sure.
And all that stuff. But I was like, I feel so much better now.
Yeah. You're not tired all day.
I'm not tired all day. And I actually look forward to the evenings now, where before I was like, oh my gosh, after dinner I just want to get in bed, and then I have to do this and this and this. But now I'm like, oh, this is just part
and you
of
don't
my
have to
day.
worry about not that you probably stay up super late, but you're not stressed about getting to bed at this specific time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that kind of was like a switch that I just did.
Okay.
Some other things, I'm trying to remember the initial question.
No, you're good. About like habits or routines that you've kind of, to help simplify your life.
Another thing, I guess it is routine, but the timing I give myself grace with the timing of it. So I try to walk at least 5 miles a day on my walking pad.
Wow, 5 miles.
And it's while I work.
Okay.
So I just turn on like low and...
How do you type? Did this take time?
Honestly, so I'll like type and then like hold on. I don't know how people could read and walk. I have no idea. My friend Abby reads and walks. No idea. I would fall. But so that's something I try to do. So sometimes I might start early. Sometimes I might start late. It also depends on like my work meetings. On is it appropriate to walk at this time or should I be sitting?
So you
down?
don't do you kind of like get it in throughout the day, like the 5 miles.
It's not have to be consecutive. And then the other thing I did prior to walking, about 3.5 years ago, I sit all day, so much just sedentary, other than doing my CrossFit workout. So I was like, what if I just ran a mile a day? Because I had some friends that were doing this. It was like streak, and some of them were on years of it. And I was like, that seems pretty doable. And then now it's been 3.5 years.
Wow, and how many days?
I think today was 1,250 actually.
Wow. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And you never missed a day?
No, I still have to go today. So today will be 1,250. There's been times where, and it depends on what's happening throughout the day, where I've ran it at like 11 at night or maybe just made it before midnight because I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't run. I have to get out there. And it became this kind of fun thing.
Yeah.
Where I even told Poe, I was like, you need to put this on my tombstone if I die before you.
Yeah.
So, this is a joke, but I'm also serious. Make sure you get that on there.
We would all remind him if he
Yes,
didn't, because I love watching, or like random places you've been and you ran.
Yeah, that's fun too, because if we're traveling for something, I normally would have never just ran. I'd be like, oh, I'm traveling.
I'll take it. Yeah.
But now I've seen like Central Park by myself. I've seen, from California to Florida to, interstate runs are fun too. I always enjoy a good state line back and forth.
Yeah, like different places.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So it's fun too.
Yeah, that's exciting. I like all that.
Thanks.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Health Hut and Java Hut. For over 55 years, Health Hut's family-owned stores in Chippewa and Beaver have been the go-to destination for natural groceries, trusted supplements, and wellness essentials that make healthy living simple. And when you need a pick-me-up, swing by the Java Hut in Chippewa, serving up fresh coffee, smoothies, and healthy bites that fit your busy schedule. Health Hut and Java Hut, two community staples, helping you live well and feel good every day. So we kind of talked a little bit about this, but maybe you might have anything to add to it. How do you decide what's worth keeping in your schedule and what is like what you're willing to let go of? So that, I think that's kind of the piece we were just talking about with fitness.
Yeah.
But is there any other things that
So this is kind of random and maybe sort of will answer your question.
Yeah.
So my lower back has been bugging me forever, and I was like, I need to see a physical
called getting
therapist.
40 because my back's been like...
What is up with that?
I don't know. That's just my theory.
So I had this appointment scheduled. This was last month in September, but they told me it's going to be an hour and a half, and I was like, I had to cancel it. I was like, I can't be there for an hour and a half. I can't take off work that long because I do other things that I need to do.
I need to go to the CrossFit gym for lunch. I'm not coming here.
Right.
Just kidding.
I have things to do. Yeah. But again, priorities, right?
Yeah.
Probably should have kept it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway. Mm-hmm. So I found out through work we had this one physical therapy thing where you can get this iPad sent to your house, which just came to my house the other day, and you could do your sessions from home.
Oh.
So that was one thing that I kind of just found a different way to do what I wanted to do.
That's a great idea. Yeah, so because you needed to do it, but you could do it in physical therapy. I don't know. You can do it always at home. Yeah. I mean, when they teach you the moves.
Right.
At least that's what I did.
But I thought that was kind of cool. But there's always a way to do what you want to do. It might be different, but there's a way to figure it out. Things are fluid.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Okay. Well, so then maybe you talked that you didn't do this, but maybe there are some things. I think you use are there tools, apps, or practices that you use to stay organized? So your planner.
Yeah, I have my planner.
And you don't use any apps. Is there anything else? Sticky notes. Okay. Yeah.
I do use a running app because what do I use though? I think it's Under Armour maybe. Okay. I don't even buy like Strava or any of that because.
Well, my Strava is free.
Is it really?
I've had it for years, and I've never paid a dime.
Well, see, I'm afraid to switch now because I've had so many days on mine.
And that's the problem is that's why I've never wanted to switch mine either, because it's so fun to look back from 3 years ago. I'm like, oh, this is where I ran, or this was my time, or whatever.
Right,
yeah, I agree.
So I think mine's Under Armour, but so I have that app, and then at CrossFit we have an app where you could log your scores in there too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really don't. To my knowledge, I don't think I use anything, but sometimes you can use something so much and forget.
I think you like you said that you write yours down a lot.
I do.
Like whatever your schedule is or whatever, which is impressive because so many people rely more on, apps or.
Sure, and those are all great.
They're great, yeah.
Yeah, they all do really cool stuff, and I don't know if it's just that there's a learning curve, or I'm just such a stubborn, old school person. I don't know, but
well. I think it's probably a good thing. Technology isn't always as great as it looks, right? So we talked a little bit about how we both, I think, like to exercise, even though I tried CrossFit and I could not hang.
You were good, though. I remember
I lasted like 2 months.
You were doing really great.
But anyways.
And you do lots of other cool stuff,
I do. Yeah, I like to punch things more.
Yes.
Like rock. That sounded bad, but a bag. I usually. Anyways, so and I was telling you, I think before we came on too, is one of my passions is for like women. I'd say moms, but maybe not even moms, just women in general, that they take time for themselves. And I think we've kind of been talking a lot about that. Mm-hmm. So maybe how would you encourage a mom or a woman just in general how that it's good to take time for you, whether in all the different seasons. Like, I'm sure when they're little, you still, like you said, you were able to find a way to do your exercising at home, but also just take time for you. I think you have probably always done that well, but maybe how would you maybe encourage that it's okay to do that?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, because I know whenever you are, mom, spouse, and you wear many hats and this, that, and the other, it is hard to find time.
Yeah.
The time is there. It just has to look the way that suits you. So I know sometimes people look to social media and they're like, oh, this person looks great, or they're doing this. And yeah, they do look great, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, good for them. That's seriously amazing.
Yeah.
But sometimes their schedule is not going to work for you. So you have to figure out what does work.
Yeah.
Or things that you enjoy. Maybe you don't like being a hiker, so don't go hiking.
Find things that you like to do, right?
Find things you like to do. But I personally do think, being outside, like, I'll sit on my deck a lot. I'll sit in my driveway a lot, actually, while I'm working, just because it's very peaceful. And even though I'm at work, and I would like to not be working, I'm still getting the elements that I enjoy from being outside. I can have Dozer out there with me, and it's just very peaceful being, just looking at the trees. I
think that's important, too, because, like you said, you may not want to be working, but instead of just being like mad or miserable, where you're like, oh, well, I could just move my desk out or my computer outside with me and find the ways around it. Which is sometimes hard to do. I think.
It's not a perfect way, and it might not be 100% of what you want, but if you can get the element of what you need with what you need to do kind of meshed together, it's very helpful.
And then you're more happy and you're getting your work done.
Exactly.
So maybe, how do you handle guilt or pressure when you simplify and say no to certain things? Maybe to your kids or work or spouse or friends. I guess it could even be. Is there or
I mean, that is
maybe not even guilt might be the best word, but
sure. Yeah, so sometimes somebody had asked me the other day, how do you get everybody to come to eat with you when you go out to eat? And she's like, do you force them? I was like, yeah, we do.
I would say the same thing, yeah.
Because you need to. Otherwise, everybody's schedules are just this, that, and the other. Teenagers don't want to be with you, but they also do.
Yeah, deep down, I think they do. Yeah.
So, we just kind of force it in and be like, well, everybody else is doing this. Nobody else has to do that. Well, you do,
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But in the end, though, I think they do appreciate that. Even though in the moment they might be really mad at you. Or even for yourself, you might have to say, oh, I can't volunteer at this school dance because last time I went, it was a little nutty and I don't feel like dealing with that this time, to be quite honest.
I know which dance you're talking about.
And those women and men that do that every time, God bless them.
Yeah.
They're amazing. But I can only do that every now and again because that's my time.
You know what, though? I also tell people, though, I think God gave us all very different gifts for different reasons, right? So, so maybe we'll go volunteer at the school, but maybe that's not, like, it's okay to, you will do it, I'm sure, even if it's not maybe your thing, but you might go teach a fitness class. Like, I think you go down to Midland, or used to, like, teach a fitness class. Like, so a lot of people, like, you can find what your giftings are. That doesn't mean that it has to be everybody else's gifting, or like you said, look what they're doing.
That is
very true. And I think that's like something a lot of people feel maybe guilty of, but I'm always like, well, it's okay if that's not your gift.
Right.
But when you find that you're living in like the gift that God gave you, that's when you feel peace about it and you actually love doing it.
Absolutely.
Usually.
That's a very good point. Yes.
I'm not always there.
There's always everybody everywhere is always going to need volunteers, and you can't volunteer for absolutely everything because you do have to find what your gift is, like you said. Because otherwise, you're not really shining where you...
Yes. You're just there to do it. And sometimes we do that. It's okay, but I don't think you should feel guilty if we don't volunteer at every dance.
Right. True.
Or let people make you feel that. Like, it's okay to say no. And I think as you get mature, I've realized I'm okay telling people no. Like, the boundaries. It's like, okay. Yeah. It might be a little... put off or upset, because some people just aren't so used to hearing people say like they're not used to that.
Especially if you said yes many times before and then you're now starting to say no. It's kind of like, what's going on here?
Not used to this.
Just stay firm. But
I agree. So let's talk, can you simply or simplify your life actually improve your relationship? So what do you think when you do make things simple, how do you think it improves whether a friendship or even with your kids maybe? Or
Yeah, I think the quality connection is that much higher.
Yeah.
Because now you're focused on just being in the presence instead of all these ancillary other things that just randomly need done.
Yeah.
Kind of how we were talking about, you're there like in tandem, but you're not really there with each other.
Like what you said, like family dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
You're there. Or sometimes you think you know your kids are there, but are they really there?
Right. Yeah.
Who knows?
This is true.
but they'll still get things out of it and appreciate it, I think. Yeah. Yeah. How has your faith or spiritual life helped you lead and guide you with self-discipline?
Yeah. So I either believe in something or I do not.
I love that.
So I definitely believe in the Bible, and my faith is based on biblical principles, and so whatever it says, I believe.
Yeah.
And if something contradicts that, I don't believe it. So I really think that that's very helpful. And that also kind of, that helps you really keep things simple in your own life. You're like, well, this over here, I don't even care about that. I don't even believe in it. So why am I going to invest any time there? So that's very helpful.
Just like easy to, if the Bible says it, then you'll believe it.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty easy. Yeah, because other times, like, even if fear, for example, creeps in, it's like, well, you're not supposed to fear. Do you believe that you are covered? Yes, you do.
Yeah,
all
you
right.
have to find those scriptures, and in those times you have to like you said, take your little sticky notes. And I used to like post them all. I remember during COVID when I was actually really sick, and I started thinking I was gonna die. Not really, but like
you felt. Like
I kind of felt that way for a little while.
Oh.
And then I was like, I had to get some scriptures and like post them everywhere, so I would, keep reminding myself because it's easy to live, like
Keep
you said, in fear.
you.
I'm like, oh. And that was when the world was going crazy too. So it was scary for a lot of people. I think.
Yeah, because that's like mostly what's in your face, like fear and all that stuff. So also that's another thing too. I don't even watch the news, like none of that now. I keep anything that contradicts like my peace. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, because it steals your joy.
It does,
and your peace, and then you're not happy.
And then
like,
it steals your relationships. It just kind of trickles down from there.
Yeah, that's so true. So what would you say maybe are some steps that people could take to simplify their life? Since I think maybe like. We talked about technology. Maybe it can be good, but also can be bad.
Right.
So maybe
I think define personally like what your priorities are. And it can go in all sorts of different orders here, but start like with the highest level of priority. Like, or if someone's married, you would hope their spouse is a high priority.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
Or it might not be.
Right.
Yeah.
And faith, obviously, before a spouse even.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that's good first. Then your spouse.
Yeah.
Then your kids.
Yeah.
If you have kids.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have any of those, that's okay. Maybe that's not something for you now, but maybe in the future. But keep faith first.
Yeah.
Maybe then work.
Yeah.
Could be something. What are your priorities at work? How could you achieve those for today?
Yeah. Like little goals, maybe, is a good way, I always think.
Just pick like 2 or 3 to focus on. Also, if you write down too much, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And then now you're cluttering your mind with too many goals.
Or I always say, too, like, so many people make really longer goals, which are good to have, like, maybe a year or 5 years or 10. But I think sometimes I always tell people, I'm like, well, why don't you just start with, like, a week goal or a month goal or even a day goal? Because sometimes our brains can't, like, remember all that, or it's like too far away, or like you can't see all the way there, so it gets almost like stressful to think about.
And you have to be able to check stuff off as you go too, because it's not fun not checking something off for like 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
have those small goals and then like a 6 month. I like that.
So with your everyday running, do you keep track of that, or how do you?
I do in my planner.
And you do. Okay.
I would literally write down every single day what day I'm on, and then I'll go back and cross-reference it, and then I account for leap years and non-leap years to make sure that it matches.
Wow.
But yeah, that's a big thing.
Impressive.
And I'll look a couple of days before, make sure I logged it right. Some days I didn't, and I'm like, I caught that day because my planner says this, that says something else.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it's definitely one of.
Do you put your time down, or is it?
No,
it doesn't matter.
It's not really meant. For most days.
Okay.
Most days isn't meant for speed.
It's just more like
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you take Dozer usually with you if
you're home.
Most
of the time now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he probably loves that.
He does.
If he only knew what day he was on.
Right, I know. I usually write down when he comes with me, but I would have to literally go back through like thousands of days, and so I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
but he's been there quite a bit.
Oh man, I love it. So maybe one last question I have for you. How can listeners maintain simplicity over the long term? So we did talk about maybe like short term, but maybe we could just talk about things that they could do to simplify their life that maybe for long term. Like I think what you said, your little goal that it probably started out. I don't think you probably thought it was going to last, or did you maybe think you would last?
I didn't really know what to expect, but whenever I kind of latch on to something, it kind of becomes like a fixation.
Yeah.
So it definitely very much became that. But I wasn't expecting that at first.
Yeah. So how do you think that, do you think you've always been that way? Mm-hmm. Like that if you're on something, you're...
Oh, yeah.
I love that because most people are the opposite. Most people have all these goals and they just break them after 2 or 3 days.
I definitely have done that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if it's something I'm really like, wow, I really want to do that.
Yeah.
I just will be fixated on it.
Do you think it's something that you actually if it's something that you actually enjoy doing, that it's helpful? Or do you think it doesn't matter if it's... Because you probably liked being outside running.
Yeah,
I mean, that's probably something...
Actually.
I was just curious if it was... For me, I think goals like that are easy for me to keep if I enjoy it. But if it's something that's hard for me, then I easily will... Unless I always like tell people...
Right.
To hold me accountable. Because I'll quickly just give that up.
See, I think that's very brave. And I love that you do that.
I don't do it often, though. Like, even starting this podcast, I knew God told me to do it, and I told 2 people.
I saw that podcast of you explaining that.
Yeah.
Because I, too, I usually like to do something, and then I'll be like, look what I did.
Okay. Yeah, like, you don't want to tell anyone.
Yeah, because I feel like I don't really know how it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, like, I'll tell some people, but... Yeah. And then there have been times where I did tell somebody something, and then it didn't happen, and I'm like,
yeah.
Well, that stinks, you know. But...
It's only something that I know I need held accountable to it, because easily you'll just like talk yourself out of it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that, but yeah.
Just something to think about. Well, this was so fun.
It was fun, yeah.
Thanks for, I'm sure you'll have to come back and talk about, you have a lot that you could talk about.
Oh, well, yeah, thank you.
You have a fun life.
I really, really
adventurous
appreciate this again.
This is so fun. Actually, so one fun thing, it looks like it's really storming out there.
It is.
One fun thing I like to ask my listener, or not listeners, the people that are on, is if you had a day to yourself, what would you do? Like it could go anywhere in the world, so like getting there doesn't matter.
Oh man, that's amazing.
And no money. The money, it doesn't matter either.
I think
the finances, I should say.
So usually if I do something, I don't like to repeat it unless I absolutely loved it.
Okay.
Because I like to have a whole bunch of eclectic experiences. But something that Poe and I did a couple years ago for my birthday, and I loved it. It was just a beautiful day. It was in a place that I loved, and the scenery was just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Was we did this Via Ferrata climb in Seneca Rocks down in West Virginia.
Okay.
And it was just absolutely stunning. There was a suspension bridge with, I think it's like 250 feet off the gorge.
Okay.
And I don't mind heights, and I just love beauty. And
does Poe mind heights?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, so we both were just having a great time.
Okay.
The one guy that came with us, he did mind heights, but he did it, and he was very glad that he did.
Okay.
But I would totally go there again, because it was just really quiet. You're by yourself. You're out in nature, and it's a really good time.
Great. That sounds nice. I love to be outside, too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Just want to thank you guys all for joining us today. And make sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media. We'll see you next time.